right, well, welcome. My name is Berta with BeFit, owner and founder of BeFit, Berta's faith integrated training. Yes, and we have Deep Stretch for you tonight. Deep Stretch is going to be a 60-minute class, if you will. And it's going to be nice and easy, nice and restorative. The biggest thing with your stretching is you never want to force a stretch. You want to take your time and ease into it and utilize your breath throughout the practice. And we're going to warm up the hips and warm up the shoulders and stuff first, before we get into any real deep stretches. Once we do, we'll hold those postures for a few breaths, just allowing the body to relax into those spaces to help release that tension. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have your mat out, you can have your blankets, pillows, straps, everything that you want nearby. If you would like to go ahead and lay it on down, I'm going to read us a poem this evening. This is from Poems from the Heart of Yoga, Go In and In by Dana Falls. And this is in the section of the Gifts of Life. And this poem is titled Allow. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in. The wild with the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. While loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. I love the part where it says, allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. Amen to that. Beautiful. And grace is a gift. Yes, you must accept that gift. All right. So if you're not already laying down nice and safely, lay it on down nice and easy. You can have any kind of props that you would like to support the head or a pillow underneath the knees if you'd like. And just gently come down to the ground, arms down at your sides, and then take those legs out long along the mat and get comfortable here. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure the neck is nice and long. Wiggle those legs a little bit side to side. Allow those feet to fall out. And just take a few breaths here. Make sure you're comfortable. If you have any lower back issues going on, you can keep the knees bent and keep the feet on the floor to help give that lower back some support here if you need it, okay? Now, if not, go ahead and bring those feet out long and allow those feet to fall out to the sides naturally, okay? All right. Nice deep breaths. In and out the nose if you can, or maybe you got to sigh out the mouth a couple times just to let things go, right? It is Friday, the end of the week, a great way to end your week and to start your weekend. So eyes are closed, and you're just nice and gently relaxing the breath, allowing that exhale to start to meet the length of the inhale. Inhaling and exhaling out the nose if you can. And just continue with this breath for a few moments. Just settling into the mat underneath you. And just allow yourself to be. Start to check in with the physical body. Noticing the feet, noticing those toes, noticing the ankles, noticing the legs, the shins and the calves, and the knees, fronts of the knees and the backs of the knees, noticing the tops of the thighs, the back of the thighs, inner thighs and outer. And then noticing the glutes and relaxing the glutes. Noticing the hips As you continue to breathe each exhale, you're just sinking into that mat a little bit deeper each breath, just letting go, allowing your body to relax. Taking that mind, noticing the lower back, taking the mind and traveling it up the spine into those shoulders. Noticing the arms, elbows, wrists, and hands, all the way to those fingertips. Continuing to breathe in and out the nose. And then bring the mind's eye back up those arms to the shoulders, noticing the chest, noticing the front of the neck, noticing the jaw. Maybe you release the jaw slightly. Maybe you sway the jaw side to side, forward and back. Relaxing the eyes behind the eyelids. Settling into that mat a little bit more each breath. Checking in with how you feel today. How are you? What's going on? How are you feeling emotionally, spiritually, mentally? And just keep note of how you physically feel, of any of those tense spots that you noticed along the way as you checked in with the body. And just take a few more moments here to settle in and start to clear the mind. Settle it down and start to really focus on your breath. Allowing those to-do lists to just wait outside. Keeping the chalkboard clear for now. Setting an intention for your practice. It can be one word, a sentence, a short little sentence or prayer. Or maybe it's the word allow. It's going to be my intention for this evening. So if nothing comes to your mind, I encourage you to follow in my intention of allow. Allowing yourself this time to replenish, to refill, to rejuvenate the mind and the body. To allow yourself grace when there may be positions or stretches or poses that may not feel good to you today, and allow yourself the grace to come out of them. When you're ready and you have that intention set, nice and easy, inhale those arms up overhead. Nice and gently bring those feet together, reaching, nice big, good evening stretch, reaching those arms, reaching those feet. And then exhale, floating those arms down to your sides, and then bringing those feet to the mat. Take your time. All right, adjust if you need to, and then walk those feet out nice and wide. And let's do a couple of nice, easy hammock sways side to side. Good job. And then eventually, let's bring those knees into the chest. You can hold on to the thighs or the shins here and just gently hug it out. You can rock side to side if that feels good. We're going to be very, very gentle this evening, taking your time. Just noticing how the body feels as you move ever so gently. Good. Now holding at the thighs, keeping those knees together, let's draw some circles on the ceiling with those knees. They're just little circles, maybe 6 to 10 inches or so. Just massaging that sacrum. And we're going to start to warm up those hips. Make sure you go the other direction. Again, about 3 or 4 times. And then give yourself that nice big hug again. Hug, hug, hug. Good, and then holding behind those thighs, you're going to open up the knees out, around, and in. So creating circles with the knees again, but this time you're opening out, around, and in. Out, around, and in. Good, take your time. Again, 3 or 4 times, and then switch directions. Good, nice and easy. And then bring those knees back into that chest, hug it out. Option to bring that forehead towards the knees, allowing the back of the neck to open, shoulders down and back, and then release the shoulders forward, maybe round them out. Good, and then gently lower that head down to the floor. Good job. Sway side to side a couple of times. And then nice and gently, we're going to roll to one side into a fetal position, and then gently press yourself up into a simple seated position. All right, make sure you have that strap nearby. Just go ahead and grab it. Make sure it's easy to grab and not too far away. Now, crisscross applesauce. Nice and easy, easy seated. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always take the feet out in front if you need to, okay? Add some cushion under those hips too if you need to, okay? All right, I want you to be comfortable here. All right, so crisscross applesauce, nice and tall. We're going to do some seated cow-cats here. So we're going to inhale, bow the head, and then raise that head up, opening up the throat and the heart space. And then exhale, bowing the head, tucking the chin, rounding out that spine. Good. You're going to do this 2 more times, nice and easy. Inhaling up. And exhale, cat back. Breathing, focusing on your breath and your intention. Inhaling. Allowing yourself to exhale out all that air. Creating space for new oxygen. Good. Come back into that neutral seated position, nice and tall. Inhale those arms up overhead. And then exhale, we're going to release one hand to one side and reach the other arm up and over, nice and easy. Little side bend here. Inhale, arms up, reaching up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, side bend, other side. Keeping the hips on the ground here. Good. Inhale up. One more time each side. Exhale over. Good. Inhale up. Exhale over. Exhaling out all that air. Good. Inhale up. And then exhale, bring those hands together and down through to heart center. And then if you are crisscross applesauce, let's go ahead and cross-criss the opposite direction. All right. Nice and tall. Hands to the shins. Let's come into some seated cow-cats again. Inhale. Scoop the head forward and up, opening up the heart. Exhale, cat back. Maybe you have the eyes closed here. Maybe you focus on how the body feels as it moves, envisioning space in between those vertebrae. Nice supple discs. Yes, that's what we want. We want good spine health. Exhale, cat back. Last time. And then come back into a nice, tall, neutral seated position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend. Maybe you start to reach just a little bit farther than before. Inhaling up, exhaling over. Good. One more time each direction. Exhale. Last time, inhale, exhale over. Good job. Inhale up, and then exhale those hands down through to heart center. Keeping the hands at heart center, just gently bow the head for a moment. Close the eyes back down. Come back to your breath and come back to your intention. Allow yourself to notice how you feel. Notice your heart rate. As you start to breathe and move the body, the heart rate might slightly elevate. So just noticing the heart. Good. Gently releasing those hands up to the sky one more time. And then exhale, bring them down through to heart center. We're going to roll forward into our tabletop position. Okay, I just want you to make sure that the strap's close by so you don't have to get up to get it later, okay? All right, so coming into a tabletop position. So knees are underneath the hips, about 2 fist distance between those knees. So you have space in between those knees and those feet. And then your wrists are going to be underneath the shoulders. So fingertips spread nice and wide. And then we're going to come into our traditional cow cats here. So we're going to inhale, scoop the head up, tailbone lifts, belly falls. And then exhale, cat back. Tailbone tucks under, chin slightly tucks, and the belly button reaches for the sky. So you can do this 2 more times at your own pace, inhaling up, and then exhale, cat back. 1 more time at least. Inhale up, and exhale, cat back. Good job. Toes together, coming into a wide-legged child's pose. So take those knees wide for right now, and send those hips back towards those heels. Fingertips spread nice and wide, and let the head rest on the floor here. Now, if your head can't reach the floor comfortably, you can use a rolled up blanket or towel or a yoga block if you have one. Nice deep breaths. Maybe you rock that forehead side to side nice and gently on the floor. Give it a nice little massage this evening. Good. On your next exhale, let's walk those hands over to the right side of the mat. Gently pressing into those hands, pressing the left hip slightly back. One more deep breath, and then gently come back to center. Inhale at the center, and then exhale over to the left, gently pressing the right hips back. I realize I might be mirrored right now, but as long as you do both sides, that's all that matters. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently come on back to center. A couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, come on up onto those knees into that traditional tabletop position. Nice and strong in your tabletop. And you're going to take those hips and you're going to take them back to one heel over to the other, up and around. So nice big hip circles here. About 3 or 4 times, one direction. And then you'll gently switch directions. And you can go as slow as you'd like. Listen to those hips. Do what feels good here. And remember, you can have extra cushion under those knees if you need it. Good. When you're done, come back into that tabletop, and then we'll come into our hip sways. So we're going to allow those hips to sway over to one side, and then take the eye gaze to the opposite ankle. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Good. A couple more times at your own pace here. Breathing. Inhale, center. Exhale, over. Good. Maybe one more time each side. And then when you're done, we will come back into our child's pose. Now, child's pose, you can do the same one we just did with the knees apart, or you can bring the knees together and send the hips back, fingertips spread nice and wide, and rest the head on the mat. Nice deep breaths. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Good. One more deep breath. And nice and gently come on up. We're going to thread the needle next, my friends. So from here, we're going to take that right palm underneath the nose. Inhale, take that left arm up, reaching, a little counter twist here. And then you're going to take that arm underneath you, walking that hand that's on the mat up to the top, and then rest the head on the floor. Take your time. Breathe. Now, you can place that right hand wherever you'd like along the mat, or maybe you wrap it around back behind you. Once your arm is settled, you can take that leg out to the side, if you'd like, for a little inner thigh stretch. So both arm and leg are out towards the same side, but it's the opposite leg of the arm that's on the ground. Good. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently, if you took that right hand behind you, bring it back to the mat. Gently on, thread that needle, come back to the center, and give me one cow cat. Inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, cat back. Beautiful. All right, let's thread the needle other side. Left palm underneath the nose. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, thread it through. Walking that hand on the mat towards the top of the mat and resting the head on the floor. And take your time here. Find where you want that hand on the mat, or maybe you take that hand back behind you. And then once you're settled, you can take that same side leg out to the side if you choose. Nice deep breaths. Listen to your body. Notice how you feel. It might be a little uncomfortable, but it should never be painful, okay? Nice deep breaths. Good. One more deep breath. If you took that hand behind you, gently bring it back to the mat. Bring that leg back in. And thread the needle. Come back to center nice and easy. And give me one cow-cat. Inhale, scoop it up. And exhale, cat back. Good job. Toes together. Come into your child's pose for a moment. Good. And remember, you can always pause to sip your water at any time if you need to. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently come on up. All right, so we are going to come down onto the belly, okay? So wherever you need to, nice and gently lay it on down. And let's take the left side of the face to the mat. Hopefully my microphone doesn't get in the way too bad. All right, so left cheek is on the mat. Feet and knees together approximately, like pretty close. Arms are out at your sides in a T position. Palms face the floor. Again, you have the left cheek on the mat. And we're going to take the right hand to the mat just outside the chest. And you're gently going to press yourself up and over on top of that back straight. I'm trying to get my mic out of the way. All right, here we go. Yes, so you're going to stack the shoulders, okay? You're going to stack the hips, stack the legs, stack the feet. Now you can bend the knees so it's comfortable in the bottom half. Okay, so we're opening up the shoulder that's on the floor. We're opening up the chest that's on the floor, okay? So make sure you're comfortable with that shoulder on the floor. Take your time. If you have any shoulder issues, be very, very mindful, okay? All right, now from here, the right hand on the mat, you can actually take that back behind you if you'd like, starting to reach for that back hand, or you can actually wrap it around the lower back for a little bind. Now, if you do take that arm back behind you, let's make sure to keep that right shoulder lifted up towards the sky. So keep the chest open. Good. Breathe. Now, lastly, if you choose, you can take that top leg behind you for a little bit of a spinal twist if you'd like. Only if you want to. You don't have to. Just kind of listen to your body and see what feels good to open up that chest, okay? Nice deep breaths. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Allow yourself to relax. Breathe. Good. One more deep breath. Nice and gently. If you took that right hand behind you, gently bring it back to the mat in front of the chest. Bring that leg back over, untwist, nice and easy. Take your time here. Come back to center. Adjust what you need to make sure you're comfortable. And then let's take the right cheek to the mat this time. Okay? Arms are out, T position. Nice deep breath. Enjoy the neck stretch here for a moment. If you sit at a desk all day, this chest opener should feel really good. All right, my friends, when you're ready, you're going to take that left hand to the mat just outside the chest, and you're going to press yourself up and over on top of that right shoulder. And then you can stack the hips, stack the knees, make sure you're comfortable on that bottom half, and then also make sure we're resting the head on the mat here as well. Nice deep breaths. Remember, we can take that left hand and we can take it back behind us, reaching for that other arm or wrap it around the lower back. And then lastly, you can take that top leg behind for a little bit of a spinal twist if you like. Listen to the shoulder that's on the ground, opening up that shoulder, the chest, and that bicep down the arm. Nice deep breaths. Allow yourself to relax. Breathe. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently, you're going to bring that left hand back to the mat and gently untwist. Take your time, bringing the hands to frame the chest. Push yourself up. Good job. Coming back into your child's pose. Toes together, knees can be together or apart, whichever you choose, okay? Nice deep breaths. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Good. All right. When you're ready, come on up into that tabletop position. Go ahead and give me one cow-cat here. Let's reset that spine. Inhaling up. And exhale, cat back. Good. All right. From here, nice and gently, come on up into a kneeling position. Remember, you can have extra cushion underneath the knees if you need to. All right. We're going to bring that left foot forward. I'm going to mirror you. So left foot forward, okay, coming into a deep runner's lunge. You're going to take those hands to the thigh, and you're going to gently press forward. Nice and easy. Breathe. Make sure those hips are evenly pressing forward. Good. And then gently take those hips back. Heel to the ground, toes towards you. You can have the hands to the sides. This is where some pillows or yoga blocks can come in handy for some elevation on the sides if you need. Think about the heart going towards the toes. Heart towards the toes. Spine is nice and long. Good. Gently release forward. One more time. Deep runner's lunge. Hands to the thigh and gently press forward. Breathe. Don't be afraid of that front knee going past the toes. This is a really good ankle stretch for you as well. And then gently send those hips back, toes towards you, half splits. Now, if you practice splits and want to tonight, you're more than welcome to. Basically, you'll just tuck the back toes, lift up the leg, and start to spread the legs out gently. I'm not going to do that tonight because this mat is like super sticky. And my body's just not feeling that tonight. All right? So take your time. If you did go into splits, take your time. When you're ready, come on out. And we're going to switch sides, bringing both knees to the mat, and then we'll take that right foot forward. And let's make sure that the ankle is under the knee, okay? Hands to the thigh, and then gently press forward. Good job. Breathe, my friends, breathe. Good. Gently send those hips back, toes towards you. Hamstring stretch or half splits. Breathe. Heart towards the toes. Try to keep the shoulders down and back if you can. Good. And then gently release forward. One more time. Hands to the thighs. Gently press forward. Sometimes it feels good to sigh out the mouth. If you need to, absolutely. And last time, my friends, take those hips back, toes towards you, hamstring stretch. Option to go into splits here if you choose. Tucking the back toes, lifting the legs. And if you're just starting to get splits too, pillows come in super handy to give you some elevation and or rolled up blankets. Good job. When you're done, nice and safely, come on up. Come back to the knees. I want you to go ahead and tuck those toes and then sit the hips back on the heels as far as you can comfortably. Give yourself some wrist circles. And adjust if you need to. Sometimes the toes don't go the direction you want them to. So just opening up those feet. Give me some wrist circles. And then nice and gently come on forward. Untuck those toes. Maybe you tap those toes out a little bit. Kind of get some blood flow in there. And then from here, in your tabletop, let's take those fingertips and point them out towards the edge of the mat. And gently sway side to side. Good. And if you want more here, you can bring those hands closer together if you'd like, and then gently sway side to side. Good. All right. Gently release those fingers forward. Tuck the toes one more time, and then sit it on back as far as you can. Now, some of us, if you have really tight feet, you might not be able to sit back. You might be right here, and that's fine. Just allow the feet to open. There's that word again, allow. Give yourself some wrist circles. Good. Point and flex. All right. Gently release. Come on forward. Untuck those toes. Tap them out a little bit. Tap, 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 tap. And then we're going to come into that forearm stretch one more time. Fingers can go out towards the edge of the mat, or if you want more here, we can rotate those arms and point those fingers towards the thighs, and then gently start to sit it back, but keeping the palms and the wrists on the ground. Breathe. One more deep breath. And then nice and safely release those fingers, toes together, coming into your child's pose. Arms out in front. Good. Head to the mat. And then I want you to bring those hands together at prayer stance. And then gently take those arms, the hands back behind the head. A little bit of a tricep stretch here. Breathe. And then release the prayer hands. Maybe give yourself a few wrist circles. Good. And then gently release. Come on up. Whew, nice and easy. Beautiful job. Come back to your seat, my friends. Come back to your seat. Again, feel free to sip your water if you'd like. Now, I want you to be comfortable here. We're going to work on the shoulders a little bit today. And make sure, have that strap here. We're going to use it. Finally, have that strap. So we're going to work on the shoulders. So however you feel comfortable in your seat, again, you can have a pillow or a blanket to sit on as long as you feel comfortable seated, okay? So wherever that is for you. All right, so go ahead and grab that strap. Again, you can use a belt or a tie, a necktie, whatever you have that has a little bit of length, okay? All right, so you're going to take a nice wide grip today, and it's somewhat of a light grip, so if your hands need to go out a little bit wider as you move, they can easily. So we're going to inhale, take those arms up overhead. Now listen to those shoulders. I want you to take it back as far as you can comfortably. You're going to start to feel a stretch in those shoulders, and if you can, take it back behind you. Inhale, you'll come back up. And then exhale back down. Now, for some of us, we don't have full range of motion in those shoulders, and that's okay. What you'll do is you'll just come up as far as you can, not forcing it, but just enough to where you feel the stretch. You know that's as far as you can go, and then you just come right back down, okay? Continue with this for at least 4 or 5 times, inhaling up, and then exhaling back. Now, maybe you're not feeling it. Maybe you need a little bit more. You just take a smaller grip here. Bring the hands in slightly, and it'll create a really deeper stretch for you. But make sure we're not forcing it to where we have to really move those arms to get into that stretch, okay? So it should be nice and fluid, nice and easy. So that's why it's nice to take a shorter grip first. Then you come up and then you can kind of open it up a little bit to what you need to be able to go back down, okay? So at least a couple more times. Take your time. Make sure you're breathing. Oh, yeah. We're going to work on those shoulders today. All right. Beautiful job. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling up. Take it back if you can. And then bring that back up. And to the front. Beautiful job. Just release that strap for a moment. Give me a couple of shoulder rolls back. A couple of shoulder rolls forward. Beautiful job. All right. Maybe a couple of neck rolls feels good too. All right, my friends. So we're going to grab that strap in one hand. Okay. Either hand is fine, okay? All right, so you have that hand above, right, with the strap. Now you're going to bend at that elbow, reaching the hand behind the neck, like you're going to scratch the middle of your back, okay? So that strap is right down, going along your spine behind you, yes? Now you're going to take that opposite hand, and you're going to take that to your lower back and reach for that strap, and you're going to hold on to that strap. Okay, now I want you to think about that top elbow pointing up towards the ceiling the best you can. And then you're going to start to walk the bottom hand up towards the top hand. Okay, now take your time. Use that strap. You go as far as you can comfortably. Listen to your shoulders and arms. Okay, breathe. Now, for those of you who have done this before and you feel you're flexible enough today at this time of day to actually release the strap, if your fingertips can reach and you can clasp those hands behind you, then you can actually release that strap if you need to. So holding here, continue to breathe. I'm going to turn around just to show you what it looks like, okay? Take your time. You're breathing nice and easy. So this is right here. You're going to reach behind, other hand grabs the strap, and then you just walk it up the best you can. And you might not make it to the other hand, and that's okay. But if you can, eventually you get a little bit closer, and you might actually be able to clasp fingertips. Stay seated tall, nice deep breaths. Give me at least one more deep breath. And then nice and safely, gently, nice and slowly release those arms, release the strap, and then give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Good job. Just noticing the shoulders, right? And then forward. If you are crisscross applesauce, I highly suggest maybe you switch up those legs, and let's do the other side for that shoulder opener, okay? All right, so grab the strap with the opposite hand, whichever hand that you had on top, do the opposite hand, reach behind, bend at the elbow, okay, reaching that elbow up towards the ceiling the best you can. Then take the opposite hand behind you, reaching for that strap. Gently start to walk that hand up the strap. Take your time. And now you might notice one side is a little bit farther away, like the fingertips are farther away than the other. And that's okay. Just pay attention. Don't force it. You go as far as you can. So this side, my fingertips are actually a little bit farther away. The other side, I could clasp really well. This side, I'm like barely touching fingertips. So it just goes to show that one shoulder might be a little bit tighter than the other, or might be part of my tricep or my bicep. Something might be a little bit tighter. Breathe, my friends, breathe. A couple more breaths here. Actively pulling apart at that strap or pulling apart at those fingertips, seated tall. Good. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently, safely, slowly release. Woo. Good job. Give yourself some shoulder rolls. Noticing those shoulders. Good. Shoulder rolls forward. Let's actually take that nice wide shoulder opener that we just did in the beginning. Let's go ahead and do a few of those. So take that wide grip on the strap. Inhale up. And then exhale back behind. Take your time. Maybe 2 or 3 times here. Good. Inhaling up. And exhale back. Good. One more time. Beautiful job. When you're done, just place that strap down in front. We'll give those shoulders a nice rest. Feel free to sip your water if you need to. We're coming down onto our back sides, and we're going to work on those hips a little bit, okay? All right. So nice and gently, just lay it on down. Take your time. Get comfortable, okay? Make sure you have those blankets if you need them, or pillows or whatnot. All right. Now, once you are comfortable, let's bring those knees into that chest. Let's hug it out for a moment. Bring those knees in. Good. Feel free to rock side to side. Make sure you're comfortable on your mat. All right, my friends. Grabbing that strap, and we're going to take that strap around the arches of the feet. So around the arches, and then we're going to take those feet up to the sky. So pressing those heels up the best you can. So we want straight legs, yes, but we might not have perfectly straight legs, and that's okay. So your knees might, and we don't want locked legs either. We don't want them hyperextended or locked. We want to have a slight micro bend, but you might have a little bit more of a bend today, and that's okay, okay? That's why we're stretching, right, to make it better. All right, so you're gently pressing those heels up to the sky, toes towards you, and you're holding on to each side of the strap gently. Nice deep breath, shoulders are relaxed. Just get comfortable in this position for a moment. And then when you're ready, and if you want more, like this might be enough, you can stay right here. But if you do want more, you can start to pull gently upward on the strap, pulling those toes up towards the crown of the head. Now remember not to force it. You just go as far as you can comfortably, okay? Breathe, feeling the lengthening happening behind those legs. Maybe even into that lower back. Nice deep breaths. And then gently, we're going to release that right foot down to the mat. Okay, the knee is bent for right now. We're going to take that strap into the left hand. You can just kind of wind it up to where it's comfortable in that left hand. Now we're going to take that right hand on top of the right hip, and we're going to keep it there because we want to make sure that those hips stay grounded, okay? So still pushing that left heel up towards the ceiling, toes towards you, gently pulling upward on the strap just a little bit. Inhale, and then exhale. You're going to allow that leg to open up out to the side. Good, out to the left. Take your time. Now you only go as far as you can comfortably, noticing that right hip. So if you open up the leg and that hip starts to come up off the ground, you've gone too far. Keep the hips grounded and gently open up. Now you can add elevation underneath that left thigh. You can add a nice tall pillow for some support if you need it, okay? Get comfortable here, still gently pulling upward on the strap, okay? Now from here, once you're settled, take a breath or two. You can take that right leg out nice and long along the mat. See if that changes anything up for you in the hips. You can point the toe, or maybe you push the heel forward. See if it does anything for you in the hips or lower back. Now, maybe having the leg out long is too much. You can keep that foot bent and keep it on the floor, okay? Focusing on that left hip, opening up gently. Breathe. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Good. One more deep breath. And then nice and gently bring that left leg back up to center. Take your time. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to switch that strap to the right hand. Take that left hand on top of the left hip. We're going to keep that hip there, okay? Now, you're still pushing the heel up, gently pulling upward on the strap. Inhale, and then exhale. Take that left leg just across the center line of the body, maybe 10 inches or so, right before you feel that left hip come up off the ground, okay? So you're feeling that lengthening happening from the heel all the way down that leg into the glute. Breathe. Allow yourself to relax in this position. One more deep breath. Now, on your exhale, we're going to take that leg and we're going to allow that left hip to come up off the ground, coming all the way across the body into a straight-legged spinal twist. Still gently pulling upward on the strap. And let's take that left hand out into a T position, and then the eye gaze can follow. Good. Take your time. Settle in here. Breathe. It may be a little bit uncomfortable, but it should never, ever, ever be painful. Breathe. Take a look at that left shoulder. Let's make sure the shoulder's on the ground. If it's not, if it's up off the ground, then maybe you untwist just a little bit and keep those shoulders grounded. Breathe. Relax the glutes. Relax that lower back. One more deep breath. Now, to get out of this nice and gently, you're going to start to gently release the strap, bending that left knee nice and safely. Coming back to center. Take your time. Good. You can just release the strap wherever you can. Just kind of lay it to the side for the moment. Bring those knees into that chest and hug it out. Whew. Noticing the hips here. Gently rock side to side. Good. All right, my friends, when you're ready, take that strap, place it around the arches of those feet. One more time. One hand on either strap for a moment, pressing those heels up, lifting and pulling gently those toes up towards the crown of the head. Good. Breathe. Keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. And then gently, when you're ready, we'll release that left foot down to the mat. Take the strap into your right hand. You can just kind of wind it up a little bit if you'd like. All right. Now, you're going to take that left hand on top of the left hip. Remember, we're going to keep those hips grounded for now, okay? Gently pushing that heel up to the ceiling, pulling those toes towards the crown of the head slightly. Inhale, and then exhale. Open up that hip out to the side as far as you can comfortably before that left hip comes up off the ground. Remember, we can place a pillow underneath that right thigh for extra assistance. Breathe. Still gently pulling upward on the strap. And then when you're ready, if you want more, you can take that left leg out nice and long along the mat. Excuse me. Or you can push the heel forward, point the toe, push the heel, see what feels best. Or maybe you just keep that foot on the ground. Your choice. Breathe. One more deep breath. And then gently bring that leg back up. Switching the strap to the left hand. Holding on to that strap, taking that right hand on top of the right hip. Let's keep that right hip on the ground. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to take that leg across the center line of the body. Only maybe about 10 inches or so. Breathe. Gently pulling upward on the strap. Ooh, yeah. Feeling that all the way down the back of that leg. Into that glute. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, on your next exhale, you're going to allow that right hip to come up off the ground and take that straight leg all the way across the body. Take your time. Don't sit on your microphone. And then you can take that right arm out to a T position, eye gaze to the right. Still gently pulling upward on the strap. Nice deep breaths. Take a glance at that right shoulder. Let's make sure the shoulder's on the ground. Good. If it's not, maybe you gently untwist, bring that shoulder down, and you stay right there. Good. Nice deep breath. Still gently pulling upward on that strap. One more deep breath. And then nice and safely to release, you're going to release the grip of the strap. Start to bend that top leg. Untwist nice and slowly. Coming back to center. Bring those knees into that chest and hug it out. Good job. All right. Loving on those hips today. Let's come into our happy baby. Taking those knees out towards the shoulders. Flex feet towards the sky. Now you can pull downward on the thighs, ankles, or the feet. The biggest thing here is, again, we want to make sure that those shoulders and the neck stays nice and relaxed. So if you reach for the feet and you notice that the shoulders and the neck kind of tense up on you, then come back down. Get that head down, neck nice and long. Maybe you come into the legs or even the thighs if you need to, okay? Keep those shoulders relaxed. And then option to rock side to side if you'd like. Good. Happy babies. Maybe you make some funny faces here. Scrunch up the face, release. Scrunch up the face, release. Maybe you open up the mouth, stretch out the jaw. Maybe you stick the tongue out. Happy babies make funny faces. So make some funny faces here. Relaxing that face, releasing any facial tension. Allow yourself to let go. Whew. Yes. All right, my friends. Nice and gently bringing those feet together and up towards the sky one more time. No strap here. Just legs up and arms up. Little reversal of blood flow. Always good to do this. You can do legs up the wall too. If you have a wall nearby and you want to go up against the wall, you can. It's a great lower back release, as well as, of course, the reversal of blood flow helps with any kind of inflammation that you might have going on. Feel free to stretch out those forearms. Maybe stretch out the fingers one at a time. Don't forget the thumb. Good job. Maybe you start to work on those yogi toes, spreading out those toes. Good. Allowing those toes to take up some space, right? Because they're in shoes all day long most of the time. So allow them. I'll notice it's been a long time practicing trying to separate my toes and be able to move my pinky toe. And I noticed my left pinky toe is the last one that I could get to like move on its own. But I notice if I don't practice it, eventually it kind of starts to get stiff again. So yeah, you got to separate those toes. Poor things. Our feet, they're in shoes all day. Let them be free. Wiggle those toes. Good. Point and flex. Again with that word allow, right? Allow those feet to be free. Happy feet, right? Happy feet. All right, my friends, one nice big inhale. And then exhale, nice and slowly lower those feet down to the mat, arms down at your sides. And then we're going to come into our bound angle here. So feet and knees together, and then allow those knees to fall out to the sides so the bottoms of the feet will come together. Make sure those hips are nice and even. And then also, if you feel like the hips are still really tight and you need some assistance, you can actually add some support underneath the thighs here with some pillows or rolled up blankets. If you feel like you need a deeper hip opener here, you can place elevation underneath where the feet meet, like a block or a pillow. Okay, so take your time, get those hips happy, and then when you're ready, inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them into field goal arms. Good, or scarecrow arms. 'Tis the season for both, right? Football season and scarecrows. So the elbows are bent 90 degrees, and just allow that heart space to open. There's that word again, allow. Sometimes we just got to let go and allow. Nice deep breaths. You may also add elevation underneath the middle of the back, the shoulder blades for a deeper chest opener if you'd like. Usually it's more comfortable with a pillow or rolled up blanket. Sometimes blocks are kind of hard to get comfortable. Just a couple more breaths here. You can stay here as long as you'd like, but when you are ready to come out of it, we'll gently release those arms down to our sides. And you can use those hands to gently lift the knees back up together and then bring those knees into the chest one more time. One more nice big hug. Option to bring the forehead towards the knees. Hug, 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 hug. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then gently release the head down. Release the feet down to the mat. Coming into our final resting pose, okay? So whatever that looks like for you, something comfortable. Let those legs fall out naturally. Shift those hips left and right. Make sure you're nice and even and comfortable. And then arms down at your sides. Take your time here. Remember, if you have lower back issues, you can keep the feet on the ground if needed, okay? So get comfortable. Place those pillows and those blankets wherever you need them. And I'm going to read our poem to us one more time, okay? All right. So this again is from the Poems from the Heart of Yoga by Dana Falds. Go in and in. And this is in the section, The Gifts of Life. And the title of this poem was Allow, which was also my intention today. All right. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream, and it will create a new channel. Resist, and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow, and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild with the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the doors of your heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. Allow, and grace will carry you to higher ground. So just taking a few more moments here in your final resting pose to just allow yourself to be you. Breathe. Keep your mind clear. Settle into your mat and just be. Breathing in and out the nose if you can, and allowing that exhale to be longer than your inhale. Coming into a state of relaxation, not so relaxed that you would fall asleep, but right up to that cliff. Allow. What are you holding on to that you need to let go of? Allow grace to lift you up. Just a few more breaths here. Gently bringing your mind back to the body, starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes, allowing them to move freely, starting to rotate the wrists and the ankles, allowing your movement to become a little bit bigger. Take your time here, gradually bringing those feet to the mat. Maybe a couple of hammock sways with those legs feels good. Or maybe you take the arms up overhead for that big, good evening stretch one more time. Eventually making your way into a fetal position on your favorite side. Eyes are closed. Breathe. When you're ready, gently press yourself up into a simple seated position, wherever you're most comfortable, seated nice and tall. If you open the eyes, just gently close them back down. Hands are on the thighs, up for more receiving here, or down for more grounding. And just notice how you feel in this position. Seated tall, allow yourself, there's that word again, allow yourself to reflect on your practice today. How did you do? How do you feel? How do you feel now compared to the beginning? And just take a moment to reflect. Breathe. Focus on that intention. Or maybe you say a short little prayer to end your practice. When you're ready, allow those arms to float up overhead. Eye gaze up, bringing those hands together, slightly opening up the eyes, allowing light in, and bringing those hands together and down through to heart space, sealing our deep stretch practice together tonight, my friends. Namaste. God bless you all, and thank you so much for being here.